My name is Mike Ewald with the Fish and Wildlife Enforcement Branch. I'm a regional problem wildlife specialist. Fish and wildlife officers receive a lot of calls about wildlife. Public safety is our #1 mandate in dealing with all these situations. So throughout the whole process, as we determine whether or not it's problem wildlife or not, public safety is the #1 consideration throughout. When wildlife officers are dealing with different wildlife situations, one of the options is to immobilize the wildlife and relocate it. The steps that are involved with that would be, first off, we've got to have a look at the animal. We've got to first know what species it is, but also know what size it is, so we can determine how much of the drugs to use to immobilize the animal safely and securely. So then we've got to mix that drug up and then load a dart and then have the animal in a real controlled environment. Whereas to a lot of people, it might look like the perfect place, perfect time for us to immobilize and remove the animal. There's all these other considerations, because once we do get the drug into the animal, it doesn't go to sleep immediately. It might take, 10, 15 minutes or longer even sometimes for the drug to take effect and for the animal to be immobilized. So we're not going to hit a moose with a dart and have it run across a major thoroughfare and cause a motor vehicle accident, or into a neighborhood and get aggressive with people. And also on a hot day, we don't really want to tranquilize them, because their circulatory system slows down, they don't cool off near as fast, and they could overheat and just not survive. If we immobilize an animal when it's too cold out, then their feet could freeze, their ears could freeze, nose freeze, and things like that. And on a breezy day, if you've got a wind blowing, when you shoot that dart, the wind can affect its trajectory. If a bear is up the tree and you're going to dart it, there could be branches, there could be leaves, things like that in the way that could deflect and really reduce the accuracy of the shot. And those darts, they do hit with some impact, and so you want to be hitting the animal in a major muscle group. Then it takes time for that drug to take effect. It could go for a run for 10 or 15 minutes. And so we've got to be prepared that we've got to follow this animal and to be able to find it once it goes to sleep. But a lot of times they'll relax, they'll lay down, and that drug will take effect, and they will just go to sleep right there in the same yard where we drugged it, if the animal is not stressed out. If it's stressed out, the adrenaline is coursing through the body. Sometimes the drug takes a lot longer to take effect. Since it takes that little bit of time, we need the public to stay away, and no sudden loud noises where it's going to get the adrenaline coursing through that animal again. With every one of them, we will do an assessment of the animal for health, for body condition, and whether or not it's even viable to relocate it and release it back to the wild.